You know, when this title of this movie steals from another title of a actual good movie. So back with the Steven Seagal marathon. Another one that he did in 2016. Like I said, he did 7 of them. This one, The Perfect Weapon. Now first of all, there is only one perfect weapon. And it's not either of these two. No. It's a guy from 1991, which I don't talk about that much though, but I really enjoyed the movie. I think it's underrated. This one, The Perfect Weapon. This Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman from 1991. I really enjoyed this movie. And Jeff Speakman I liked. He did a film called Deadly Outbreak. It was called Street something. I forget, but well, I know one was Deadly Outbreak. I enjoy that movie, and Street Night. I think it was called Street Night. Yeah, Street Night. But I really enjoy those movies with Jeff Speakman. But this is the one perfect weapon. This movie right here. And I'll eventually review this sometime. But yeah, I don't talk about that much though. But I really enjoyed it, and I think it's an underrated movie. Same with his other movies I've mentioned. That's a perfect weapon. This is not. It's another big pile of shit from Steven Seagal. And he's not the star of the movie once again. Once again, he's only in for like about 5 minutes at most. So, instead you have this guy played by Johnny Messner. Well, actually, I think his last name says because take out the ner. It's just keep mess. That's what he is. He's one big pile of mess. This guy, I don't think he's not that good of an actor. I mean, long ago, the last film I reviewed with him long ago, it was long time ago. It was Anaconda, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, the sequel. He starred in that. He wasn't the best guy for the role in that movie. He was not. I mean, talking with who did this? Anacondas. This is his voice. I mean, just talk like this. Whatever. I mean, I don't think I've seen him in it. I don't think he's not that good of an actor. So, and for this film, he sucked in this movie. And what other cast members you have in this? I mean, and it's sad to say. I mean, Vernon Wells is in this. Yeah, who played Bennett from Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let off some steam, Bennett. Yeah, Bennett from Commando. He was also in Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. He's in this as called the Interrogator. And you have Richard Tyson. Richard Tyson, you probably most know him from Kindergarten Cop with Arnold. He was the bad guy, the kid's father, the kid's father that he wanted his son in, right? Yeah, and he was also in that zombie film Flight of the Living Dead with along with some other actors like Kevin J. O'Connor from The Mummy and Deep Rising. He was also in that as well. So Richard Tyson, he's in this as well from Kindergarten Cop. And first of all, they steal the title from a good movie like The Perfect Weapon, but they take elements from other movies, especially like the main one they take from why Saul was called Equilibrium, with Christian Bale. I mean, that's an underrated movie, Equilibrium. I think that's the best film I've seen with Christian Bale. I'm just saying, and I think that they steal elements from this movie. And of course, another story they steal from some elements from another movie they steal, which I'll get to later on. But yeah, they steal. They steal. Firstly, they steal the Perfect Weapon title. Then they take stuff from Equilibrium, and another movie too. Because Johnny Messner, he's a guy this takes place in 2020. Well, this is 2016, so it takes place in what, in 2029? So there's this thing called a well, what would I say? It's assassins, or it's organization. Well, this is big. It's a totalitarian. I don't know what the word is in this state, and it's run by Steven Seagal. And Johnny Messner, he's a guy. He's an assassin, and he's trying to do his job. He fails to kill his target which is a woman, because he gets flashes of a woman, so he fails to kill his target. And one thing leads to another is that eventually, since he wants to, first of all, kind of like not be controlled by Seagal anymore, and he basically wants to do things his own way, and he goes on the run, and they said that he gets caught. He gets caught though. They said he was gonna get fixed, right, by Seagal, but that's a lie though. They're just gonna kill him anyway. So he escapes, and Richard Tyson is there, and then when he eventually meets with this woman who claims to be his wife. And then so a lot of things that I think was annoying. Like, they go to this a club or bar and get this really loud incoherent heavy metal music. I can't understand what it's saying. I mean, if you're gonna play heavy metal music, at least I understand what it's saying. I mean, like AC/DC or Kiss or Van Halen or whatever. I can understand what this music was saying. And then you get to some crappy fight. Another thing is the fight scenes are very bad, and it's horrendous. Especially we got a bunch of shaky cams. You can't understand what is going on, like shaky cam. A lot of times it goes up and down like this. I'm like, the poor editing of these fight scenes is very well handled, very poorly. And then of course we get CGI blood as well, like when a guy gets stabbed in the eye, CGI blood in the back, or when Johnny Messner sticks a stun gun or whatever in a guy's mouth, and his guy heads explodes in CGI. I mean, this is very bad CGI. I mean, especially bad CGI blood. You got very poor edited fight scenes. Incoherent heavy metal music. I can't understand what they're saying, and you get bad CGI blood, and what the woman's supposed to be, who's supposed to be his wife, when she's doing some fight scenes, I'm like, instead of running away, she goes to do this cartwheels. I'm like, why don't you just run away? Just have her do cartwheels just because. And Richard Tyson eventually tries to help him because Johnny Messner, he gets caught by Vernon Wells, who known as the interrogator, tortures him, and then Richard Tyson comes in and shoots Vernon Wells in the head. I was like, hey, bye bye, Bennett. And also, once in a while you get shots about with Steven Seagal as the director. I mean, in a typical course, with Steven Seagal, of course, he has the goatee again, and he has these same piss yellow glasses he wears in every one of his movies nowadays. I mean, it's the exact same piss yellow lens glasses he wears. I mean, even the next one even the next one I'm coming up, to do. I mean, here, with this one, End of the Gun, he's still wearing the same exact ones. And as he wore the previous ones. I'm like, get rid of those freaking sunglasses before I take them and step on him, or shave your freaking goatee now. And then, but I was saying, another typical thing of Seagal is that, of course, when he's sitting, he has a naked lady right next to him. I'm like, of course that's typical of Seagal, of course. Yeah, because he likes his women. I don't know, like, the more I think about it, with all the stuff that you see in these movies, I wonder if those allegations back then, with the whole human trafficking was true. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I couldn't know. I'm like, of course he has to have a naked woman course. And did he also get like a sort of like a young Steven Seagal, like a sort of flashback or whatever? I mean, it's obviously not Seagal as a stunt. It's a stunt double, but you try like to try hiding his face, you know, of course, like how they did with other of his stand-ins back in his other films they've done, you know, with the stand-in doubles, you know, that's not his face, you know. And the young, supposedly young Seagal doing kicks, I'm like, yeah, he can't do kicks like that anymore. So, after Richard Tyson saves Johnny Mazur by killing Vernon Wells, and then it turns out one thing leads to another. Eventually, like more poorly edited fights, and eventually they get brought to Seagal, and then because Richard Tyson turns out he's a turncoat, you know, wasn't helping them at all. So, and then you get this fight with Steven Seagal. I mean, yeah, I just really get sick and tired of Seagal. You know, I'm just like, just get out of my face now, please. Get out of my face. You know, like I said before, I loved his golden movies, From Above the Law to Out for Justice, Under Siege 1 and 2, Marked for Death, Hard to Kill, The Glimmerman, Even Fire Down Below, On Deadly Ground. I even like Eggs and Wounds, crying out loud. But ever since, you know, just from everything he's done, 99% I would say was overall but shit. I mean, there's only one handful of direct-to-video movies I liked of his. The best one I liked was Urban Justice. That's the best one I've seen. I know there's other ones I'd like too, like Into the Sun, The Keeper. I did not mind overall. I forgot there was another one, but I can't remember because I did so many of these. But and they eventually once you know how I said how steals from another movie? Yeah, because it turns out the wife supposedly had is not his wife. You know, I'm like, so you're stealing from Hardcore Henry now? You really are stealing from a guy who has no memory of a woman who claims to be his wife. You know, the flashes and all that stuff, right? So basically the same thing here. His supposedly wife, turns out it's not his actual wife and all this stuff. The flashes and all that stuff. I'm like, so first you steal from the title of The Perfect Weapon, then you steal basically almost the same story as almost the same kind of story of Equilibrium, and then you're taking an idea out of Hardcore Henry now, which that also came out in 2016, and I love Hardcore Henry. You know, the title says, "Oh, Hardcore Henry is hardcore," and it's like, and that did with a much lower budget like this movie. Actually, I think might even lower budget than this movie. This will cost what, $6 million? This cost like $6 million. Hardcore Henry cost like what, $1 million? And it looked even pretty much more damn good than this piece of shit we got. Yeah, but you steal an idea from that movie and put it in this movie. Great. Just go watch Hardcore Henry, or watch any of them. Go watch Equilibrium. That's underrated, and just watch The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. Go watch that movie too. Watch all three of those movies. They're all good. But anyway, then he fights Seagal and he kills him. But turns out, plot twist, it was actually there's that one Seagal. There's actually two Seagals. Because one Seagal wasn't tolerable enough. I had to deal with another one. Great. But it turns out that there actually was his twin. And the one that's still living, talking to his dad, was like, "You take care of little brother," or whatever. Yeah, little brother. I'm like, so great. One Seagal wasn't enough. I had to endure two Seagals. And of course, the first one was a fake out. Well, kind of, but not. But that's because that wasn't really actually the main Seagal that we're after, right? So. And then he comes out. The other Seagal comes out. That wants to plan to attack the Condor. Wait, that's Johnny Mez's character. Well, his Johnny Mez's character's name is Condor. And then turns out he's totally get his revenge on him, and then that's it. I'm like, jeez. Oh. I don't know how these films keep on getting made. I have no idea. Everything about this movie sucked. I mean, Steven Seagal, he's only for about 5 minutes, but he still sucked. Johnny Messner, I thought he sucked as well. I mean, it was a waste of Vernon Wells, a waste of Richard Tyson. Waste. Bad fighting, and especially the very bad editing. Which, honestly, I haven't seen that bad editing like that since the Bourne movies, honestly. I like Matt Damon, though, but I was never a fan of that Bourne franchise, never was. I think it's basically this whole same thing. I never understood the whole plot lines. I mean, it was all kind of like the same to me, right? But one thing that really sucked was their fights and their editing. That's the thing. I was seeing that, what I saw in that Bourne franchise in this movie. I don't like the Bourne movies to that level, and I don't like this movie. I just like that. Just go watch The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. Much better title of The Perfect Weapon because Jeff Speakman is the perfect weapon. So yeah, please, and then just go and go watch Equilibrium with Christian Bale, or just go watch Hardcore Henry. I mean, I'm tired of seeing Seagal sitting on his fat ass all the time. And so I'm tired of seeing him using the same piss yellow glasses he always wears. Shave the freaking goatee off. The Perfect Weapon. My ass it is. My ass is the perfect weapon. Oh yeah, speaking of, there was a fight with a newspaper. And I'm like, yeah, great. Newsflash. This movie sucks. So, yeah, another fucking... Yeah, I know, it's not worth getting mad about. It's Steven Seagal, it's not worth getting mad about. Perfect weapon, my ass, yeah. Hey, Jeff Speakman will beat the living shit out of both Johnny Messner and Steven Seagal. I guarantee it. But anyway, that's my rant on Perfect Weapon. Just get out of my face, movie, please. But anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time on the next day of the Steven Seagal-a-thon, and we'll see you next time. Later. Fuck this movie. And just go watch Perfect Weapon for 1991. Later.